Today I figured I'd film a video on the top 5 easiest beginner houseplants. I should know, I am a beginner at all of this. Full disclaimer, this is just going to be my top 5 easiest, but they are pretty well known for being easier plants. So number 1 is going to be the Philodendron Brazil. This plant has been living in such a low light area for so long, and I just shifted it to a highlight recently, and it is doing perfectly fine. Very few crispiness, like crispy ends or dead leaves ever appear on here. It's quite beautiful, as you see. I love the design on each leaf. I water it about once a week. That's really all it takes. For me, I'm not sure what the requirements would be typically. They say highlight, but I leave this in the room, in the middle of the room in my house, which is, it's definitely not highlight. It is the easiest for me because I basically have neglected it, and the more I neglect it, the more it grows. And I've taken cuttings from it, and I'm gonna make more plants with it, and it's very easy to take cuttings from it as well. So this would be my number 1 easy houseplant to take care of. Moving on to number 2, it's gonna be the white butterfly syngonium. This was placed, and it is advertised as a low light houseplant. This is placed in the middle of my living room with, I wouldn't even say low light, like almost no light or just no natural light, all artificial. And it's working out fine. I put it in a terracotta pot. I water it about once a week. I never really worry about over or under watering it. It's giving me new leaves. It's staying pretty green. You'll get the random drooper here or there, but it always exchanges and grows out more in place of it. So this would be a definite recommend for me. There's different versions of these as well, even darker ones. And also let me grab, I just got this plant, but apparently it's a type of syngonium. Can't say if it's just as easy as the other one that I mentioned because I just got it, but it is beautiful. Has a type of leaf shape of the syngonium and a red underleaf. Now I could be wrong on the type of this, but I just wanted to show you that there's multiple types of syngoniums. There's darker ones, there's this type, and there's other ones besides that, I'm sure. So it makes for an extremely easy houseplant. I also have one in my office with all artificial light, and it is thriving as well.
And
Also, just a tidbit in my experience with the syngonium, the low light is truly what it means because I've put another one in highlight and it bleaches the leaves completely and burns them, including that one that I just grabbed that was hanging, the red. You can see how the normal leaf is supposed to look, for example, and when you leave it in the sun for too long, it kind of bleaches the leaves. They lose their green luster and they kind of take over with clear/yellow. So you don't want to leave this in the sun. You can see where it was scorched. Low light. So number 3, and one of the more easy ones, honestly. Snake plant. There's so many varieties of these. This is a variegated, I believe, because it's more pale and white in color. But there's different textures and tones, and there's also a cylindrical one, which I honestly have one of these in the office as well, and you could water this once a month and it will cause no issues for you. Sometimes I wonder if it's even a plant because it just can take a beating. But it's called the snake plant and they're fairly easy to find. They make little offshoots so you can have extra little babies that you could plant around and put in different pots and have many in your house. Overall, it's a very easy plant for a beginner. It's hard to mess this one up. Just don't overwater it. That is the one way you can murder this plant. I would not overwater it. Basically neglect it and water it when you remember because that'll be the easiest way to keep it alive. Number 4 of the easiest houseplants to take care of would have to be the ZZ plant. This makes me think like of the snake plant that I just mentioned. I water this plant like once every 2 weeks, maybe, and I water it so little, and yet it thrives and just looks absolutely gorgeous. Now most of these plants I'm mentioning too are mentioned in articles for like purifying air, especially the snake plant. So if that's something that interests you, then that's pretty neat. Just some of these are toxic to animals, so make sure you do your research depending on what kind of animal you have and if you think they'll eat your plants, because it might not be good for them. But yeah, this one, ZZ plant, this is available almost anywhere. There's even a raven version, which is harder to find, which the shoots end up being black. The shoots come out fresh, and these aren't too fresh right here, but you can tell the lighter green versus the darker green. The lighter green is going to be the newer shoots, whereas the darker green is going to be the more mature shoots that already came out. So if you got a raven one, then the more mature would be black. Middle would be dark green, and then the new would be light green. So it's quite a beautiful combination. I got this about 2 months ago, and it was less than half the size. And it just keeps putting off new shoots. It's a very beautiful plant. Last but not least is number 5, which a Monstera delicioso. This plant is both satisfying for a beginner and so easy. I had no idea what I was doing in the beginning. I overwatered, I underwatered, and it just kept putting out leaves. As long as you learn from your mistakes and keep trekking on with it, it is a gorgeous plant. And this cost me about $20. It was less than half this size before we got it. As you can see, it's large now, and it's known by its fenestrations, the little slits it has in its leaves, which I actually found really cool. I did a little bit of research on it, and I'm not sure if this is accurate. There's a few different theories, but apparently where this is originated, there's high winds. So the plant evolved to make holes or slits in its leaves so the leaves wouldn't be ripped apart. That's pretty neat. It also can let the sun shine through in the other plants, which means more photosynthesis, which means more food for the plants. And this is a climbing plant. So it has aerial roots and it can climb upwards. Most people plant this on a tree and it'll grow up the tree. And there are variegated versions of this plant, and there's another one called Thai Constellation. One is genetic engineered, Thai Constellation, and one is a natural occurring, which is just the variegated version, which is a stable version, or unstable actually, whereas the Thai Constellation is a stable version of it. Meaning that if you get the variegated version of this plant, then it could lose its variegation depending on each new leaf. The Thai Constellation will always have variegation on it. Those are very expensive though, so just do your research before you get them. But I would definitely recommend getting a Monstera. I mean, look at this beast. Who doesn't want this in their house? It's so gorgeous. So let me know if that video was helpful. Let me know if you're gonna get any of those plants below. If you already have them, share with me which one you have. Tell me any other easy houseplants to take care of. I can do another 5 easy houseplants to take care of, because there's plenty that are very easy to take care of. No excuse not to have one. Doesn't matter if you have a green thumb or not. There's a few that just don't matter as long as you just give them the small bit of attention once a month. I promise it's doable if you want to do it. Just gotta learn a few things. And I've killed a few houseplants, so there's definitely some learning to go, and some are very hard to take care of. But if you stick with any of these in this list, you should be perfect. So let me know if you have any other ideas of videos you want me to make. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.